friends, and welcome back to Too Many Minis. My name's Ozzy, and I've been on holiday. I'm back. I want more minis, and we got reveals from Games Workshop at the Nova Open. It's a ton of stuff, so we're gonna plow through it and have a look at what they revealed in the middle of the night. So first up, they showed a lot of Space Marine stuff. It's got Space Marine Codex and all the models coming with it. Lots of things that are expected, not much unexpected, but it's solid stuff. First of all, they've got the multi-part Terminator kit. They look much like the push-fit ones. They've got lovely options for chain fists that look great. And they also have the options for the heavy flamer, which as a Salamanders guy is kind of interesting. I wasn't thinking I'd definitely get these because it's the assault Terminators that I'm looking forward to. Lots of thunder hammers. That's what I'm all about. So I wasn't so sure I was going to get more of these. I got 5 from the Leviathan kit, but heavy flamer is very salamandery. They showed a chaplain in Terminator armor. I don't quite get this model. He has the kind of ribbed skeletal chest plate. The helmet I'm fine with. The kind of helmet with a kind of muzzle, skeleton muzzle thing. It just doesn't quite do it for me. I don't know why. I like the option for the shield. I can imagine doing that and putting him here with my close combat guys when they release them, giving him a salamandery shield. But not blown away by this one. Something about it, like it's a bit too skinny underneath the arms or something. It just doesn't look substantial enough. Maybe it could do with a bit more stuff around it, a cape or some hanging stuff. I think if I get this model, I'll have to add a bunch of Drake skin and that kind of thing. The captain in Terminator armor is just a multi-part version of the captain from the Leviathan box with all the options. Combi weapons, storm bolters, relic sword, relic fist, head options as well. It looks like a cool multi-part model. The pose looks pretty the same on all the different versions, but I mean, it's got some neat stuff. It's got a head that looks like Deathlock from Marvel Comics. I think I prefer the pose of the guy in the Leviathan box, but this is obviously a lot more. It's got a lot more variety in weapons and stuff, and it's got this huge kind of super special sword. Next up, they've showed the long-awaited jump pack intercessors. So these are Primaris assault marines with jump packs. They've been missing from the range basically, especially for Blood Angels players or Raven Guard players, and we get them now. They're kind of exactly what you think they'd look like. Backpacks are pretty similar to the old ones. They have those little kind of fins above the... I don't know. It's not real technology. They have those finny bits on the back, but yeah, they're pretty faithful to the old ones. Got some nice sword option for the sergeant. There seems to be a hand flamer option for the sergeants. Plasma pistol or hand flamers for the sergeants. And you can have a plasma pistol on 1 more per 5 Marines. And then they've done a captain, jump pack captain to lead them. He's pretty cool. You can see him done out as a Blood Angel here, and that's probably what a lot of people will be going for. I can see this selling a lot to Blood Angel players. And for me as a Salamanders player, I'm not that keen to get them. I mean, I think they're a nice thing to have. I might do them at some point, but it's not like top of my list of things to do. But they were definitely missing from the range, and I think people who are waiting for them will be perfectly happy with this release. It looks good. Now, they showed the codex. It says they've slimmed it down to 93 data sheets, which is, I think, about 30 less than was in the index, which is a bit of a worry for my Contemptor Dreadnoughts, my Devastator squad, my Bike squad. It must be a lot of things going. More positively, there are 7 detachments in it. That's 1 more than in the Tyranids codex. And it's saying 6 of them roughly follow the first founding chapters: Ultramarines, Imperial Fists, Iron Hands, Salamanders, Raven Guard, and White Scars. But you're not limited by chapters. So you can use the White Scars rules, but do an Ultramarine army. You can use the Salamanders rules, but do Iron Hands. Whatever. You don't have to pick based on what you painted them, which I think is a good idea. But I'll be keen to see what the Salamanders option is. I think it's going to have buffs for flamers. By the sounds of it, they said something about it being close quarters firing, so I think that's going to lead more towards flamers and not so much the melters, but we'll see what comes of that. But they will have enhancements, stratagems for each detachment. So, you know, there's a chance for quite a bit of rules there for the people that are kind of missing that personalization in the indexes. The rules are back. If I can get my head around them, that'll be good. And then there's a kind of elite first company task force detachment. I guess any chapter could play that very easily. It's just about being the elite of the elite kind of thing. Here's the Space Marine release that I'm most excited about, that we weren't necessarily expecting, although they did recently get rid of the Firstborn version, is the Company Heroes. It's basically a command squad. So it comes with a captain and an honor guard. Company Ancient, which again, I think it's a really nice model for the Company Ancient. Company Champion, well, that model was recently in an MTO, but now it's got a new model in this set, and 2 Company Veterans. I just really like this. I think it's, they're really tricked out looking squad. They're going to look really special. They've got the little bits of trim on their armor. They've got the tabards. They just look, one guy's got a nice robotic arm. I think they look really good. I'm definitely going to be picking these up and salamandering them up a bit to get a really nice command squad, because even if you don't use them that much in game, I just think they look great in your cabinet, whatever, like as a centerpiece for your army, to show that you've got all the regular guys, but you've got a big senior management group. And the captain in that kit seems to be a kind of fully featured multi-part kit captain with lots of options, which is great having him in there. I mean, I guess they might make him available separately as well at some point, but that'll work for me. I've got some captains. I will get this kit and I will build a captain that's different from my other ones, just to give me the different options and stuff. And then they did a much expected Sternguard Veterans multi-part kit to follow on from the push fit kit in Leviathan. This kit, to me, I like the ones in the Leviathan box. I've already kit bashed them a bit to have lots of different armor mark helmets and stuff, but this has much more weapon options, and it has a back banner, which is cool. I don't think they've done one of them in quite a long time. I think the old tactical kit's the last one to have one, but a back banner, very cool for people of my kind of age. That's what you want in your Space Marines. I like the kind of double flamer option that one of these guys has. Maybe I'll get a set of these. I wonder how many. I'm guessing they'll come in 5. Yeah, it's 5. So it might be cool to get these and build up your Sternguard to a set of 10, a unit of 10 with the Leviathan ones combined. And they just show a bunch of the different options that you can have. And the last thing they showed of the Marines is a bit of a surprise, in that I was expecting it to be in the next Kill Team box. We were expecting the next Kill Team box to be Striking Scorpions versus Space Marine Scouts. But they're releasing the Space Marine Scouts here as a multi-part kit. And they're kind of what you'd expect them to be. If you took old Space Marine Scouts and you combined them with those initiates, or whatever they're called, from the Black Templar, this is what they look like. They can have bolters, they can have shotguns, and then they have other options for kind of like a heavy weapon version of the squad with a sniper and whatever that is, like a harpoon pistol. I don't love Scouts. I don't love these Scouts. I think they look better than the old Scouts. I don't think I'll be getting them because they just don't quite do it for me. I do need some sneaky options, and I'm not particularly into Phobos Marines either, so we'll see. Tracky bottoms with knee pads stuff, it just never really does it for me. The simple shoulder pauldrons don't look great. It just doesn't. They don't look great to me, but I think they look like how people who do like Scouts would like them to look. So if you like Scouts, you're probably happy enough with these. For me, they're not my thing. That's basically it. I think I like them best with the sniper option, but it doesn't seem like you get an all sniper version here. But I also like the Phobos snipers. I think they look good. So I'm not sure I need anything there. But they were a much needed thing. But it does leave the question of what's happening with Kill Team, because we didn't hear about Kill Team at Nova today. So yeah, if that was wrong, what was coming in that box, then, and why are we not hearing about the box? We've heard about the next Warcry box, not Kill Team. For AOS, you got the second book of the Dawnbringers series, and they have this crazy Trug who has like some sort of altar embedded in the back of his head. I think it's an amazing model. It's crazy. Again, he's going to be released with a kind of big load of trolls in a box to start with. Like, I think that's what we've seen with all the Dawnbringer models so far. I'm not crazy about that model, like that business model. It's like, you want this new model, here, buy this whole box of stuff, but it's only temporary. I think he looks amazing. I don't have a use for him, but wow, that's an incredible mini, and I'm sure we'll be seeing some of them turning up at Golden Demon and winning awards. And then they revealed a kind of Ironjawz mini battle tome, kind of online PDF supplement to the Warclans battle tome, and it's got these characters: Zogrog Anvil Smasher with his squig anvil. It's quite funny, old school orc humor. A pretty impressive model. Got some brute rages, kind of berserker orcs. Weird brute wreckers. Looks like the same kit with a different option. Not 100%. And new Ardboys, who look a lot like the Black Orc Blood Bowl team. Could be fun to convert one way or the other. I'm not crazy about Ironjawz, but these look like solid releases to me. If you're an Ironjawz fan, I think you'll be into these. The mean faces, the mean eyes on these guys are excellent, and they're nice and spiky. For Heresy, they showed a surprising amount. They showed a Deredeo Dreadnought, which is the kind of chunkiest of the Heresy Dreadnoughts. It's got some big long-distance firepower, and that's in plastic finally. And then they showed off new Mark III Marines with different helmet with a spiky top and very kind of Heresy-looking ornate armor. It's definitely an upgrade on the existing Mark III kit, and they're proportioned more like the Mark VI models that we've already had, and they're posed the same so that the weapon upgrade kits will fit them. So that's clever. I don't think I need more Heresy Marines, so I'm not really doing Heresy at the moment. I think I've given up on that dream for the time being. It's very much parked while I concentrate on 40k with my Marines. But they do look really good, and a lot of people will be up for them. I think people would have preferred a different armor mark that we didn't already have in plastic, but it's definitely an upgrade to the Bernia Prospero era plastics, and I think it's a very popular armor mark in general. They're doing another big box thing with these. They're releasing them in the Legiones Astartes battle group, which has 30 of these Mark III Marines in, a Land Raider Proteus, and this new Deredeo Dreadnought in plastic. So yeah, you need more Marines if you're a Heresy army. It's a big old box to get a lot of stuff. And Heresy got one more thing that we'll get to at the end, but I'm surprised he got so much. And Legiones Imperialis was not mentioned at all, which kind of speaks to this huge delay on that, which apparently is to do with them having to pulp the rule book for having some kind of Nazi names in it or something. I don't know if that's a rumor or what, but like it's clearly pushed back quite a lot. And the Tyranid Marine releases have been brought forward, and possibly the Cities of Sigmar. It feels like the whole release schedule was shunted slightly forward, and it's gone quiet about Legiones Imperialis. So that's probably to the benefit of the big Horus Heresy game. Then there was a Warcry reveal. A little bit of a surprise in that it's not a new season for Warcry. It seems to be carrying on the Narwood season that we've had 4 big boxes from, and it seems to be a smaller box. Instead of having a whole table of terrain and a board, it seems to just come with one piece of terrain. Interesting. So the Gorgia Moor pack, a kind of weird albino ogres, very weird looking. I'm not sure I'm into them, but they're very creative models. And they've come into the Null World to investigate these Moor pits, which is this new piece of terrain. They're going to be facing off against the Wildercore Hunters, who are the new Cities of Sigmar kind of hunting pack. And they're fantastic models. They showed them off a few weeks ago when they had to reveal the whole Cities of Sigmar range because it had leaked. And they're a real standout for me. I'm pretty much definitely getting these guys. They're just incredible. I love a rangery, huntery type model. And some of these, the hooded ones, are just incredible. Got a bunch of dogs. The poses, the kind of character they've got, just incredible models. So I think that's a get for me. I might have to play a bit more Warcry. And it comes with this one terrain piece, the Moor Pit. That's interesting. It's just a one-off piece that you can add. It fits in with the Narwood stuff they've done over the last year. I thought none of that was available now, but the last box is still available, and I think the kind of just the terrain pack with just the board and some terrain is also still available, although it's I think currently out of stock. So they are carrying on with that. So that's interesting. It's not really a new season, and maybe they've decided people have got enough terrain now. Like they don't need to do whole boxes of terrain. And that might be a little indicator of where they're going with Kill Team. They might also say, okay, we're not doing a whole table full. We'll just add one little nice bit. It's kind of interesting. We'll see what the price point is. Hopefully you can see it's a square box. Hopefully it's a bit cheaper. Is that unrealistic? You know, that square box, it looks more like an 80 pounder to me, maybe. Maybe that's wishful thinking, but 2 warbands and 1 piece of terrain, sort of 80 pounds, something like that. I think that's attractive, and I think if they did that for Kill Team, people would be really into it, because you're basically getting the terrain piece for free. You're paying for 2 warbands, or roughly. I'm not sure about these Ogres, but I love the Wildercore Hunters. Yeah, I think it's a solid look for Warcry, which, you know, people were worried Warcry wasn't doing that well before, and the releases they've had over the last year have been really excellent. Time and money, I haven't picked them up, but I really like them, and if with infinite time and infinite money, I absolutely would. Blood Bowl gets some love for the first time in a while with a new team. It's the Vampire team, very much the kind of vampire counts of yesteryear, and they've got some really romantic baggy shirts with flared cuffs and ruffs and all kinds of romantic frippery. It's not really an aesthetic I'm crazy about, but these are great models. These really look amazing for what they are. Look at this thrower, vampire thrower, is just amazing. They're really comedy. The kind of, I guess these are thralls. This is so hilarious. The kind of like busty vampire women are hilarious. The whole thing's just, there's a guy holding a bat. I think it's exactly what you want if you want a vampire counts Blood Bowl team. The standard of models is off the hook, and lovely little bits they come with. I think that's a solid updating of an old team for any Blood Bowl fan. And they continue that thing of Blood Bowl being like the old world, but kind of funny and sillier, and a little bit more caricatured. And I think they've done a fantastic job here. The next season of Underworlds comes with Death Gorge. Kind of interesting box. It's got 2 interesting warbands. It's got a Slaaneshi trio of demons that are pretty wild and crazy. I'll be interested to see if you'll be able to field them in Head Knights of Slaanesh AOS army, or if they're only just in a Chaos Demons army. But they're pretty special. Pay attention to this serpent one. More on that later. And a kind of crazy demonette. I think they're pretty great. They're certainly out there. And then they face off against the Idoneth Deepkin warband, which has a fantastic leader character, a fantastic squiddy thing, and then 2 very mundane warriors who I'm not bothered about at all. And there's that thing with Idoneth Deepkin. I like some of it, the more characterful bits, like this leader, but the basic troops don't do it for me, unfortunately. So bit of a mixed bag on them, but giant squid. It looks like a solid release for Underworlds to me, I think. Again, it's that thing of like pushing to more interesting, weird little bits of the Warhammer world, and that's what you want from Kill Team, Warcry, Underworlds, etc. They showed off 1 model for the old world, very much still drip feeding for that. It's an interesting model. It's Elise Duchard, prophetess of the Lady of the Lake, powerful wizard who rides a muscular unicorn into battle. It is really a muscular unicorn with nice flared feet, and it's an impressive model. And it's I quite like it's sort of not making any concessions to kind of blokey badass Warhammer fans. It's a lady with a chalice on a unicorn. It's really She-Ra stuff, you know. My kids would be bang into this, and that can't be said for much of the Warhammer world. And it's a very solid update on the older, very much a nod to the old Grail damsels from previous Warhammer Fantasy battles. I'd be interested to see how popular this is. I can see it winning some golden demons with people doing nice paint jobs. I think it's a strong look for Games Workshop to be doing something a bit different. Finally, they showed the most extravagant model, the most extravagant guy. It's Fulgrim Primarch for Horus Heresy, after he's very much fallen to chaos, and he's a serpentine winged 4-armed Slaaneshi god. I mean, look at him. Absolutely bonkers model. Even his spear has crazy chaos mutations on one side. I have no idea how big it is. I don't think it tells us how big of a base he's on. It's got to be at least a 60mm base, but possibly way bigger than that. It's got to be bigger than that, right? I mean, I don't know. That's got to be big. And what a pain to store and transport with those wings going straight up in the air. I guess he's got 6 arms, not 4, because the wings have arms. I don't know. Bonkers model. I don't think I'll be getting it. It's interesting that this is a Resin Forge World model because we're expecting them to do Emperor's Children for 40k in the way they've done Death Guard, Thousand Suns, and World Eaters in previous editions. The assumption with that would be you get a big plastic Fulgrim model with that. With this resin one coming from Forge World, the assumption is that that's not going to be the model you use for your 40k Emperor's Children when and if they do them. Would that suggest he's mutated even more by the 41st millennia, and that this is relatively, calm in comparison to what he looks like then? It's an amazing model. I mean, I am tempted by it, but what are you going to do with it? Where are you going to keep it? How would you move it? I don't have enough Emperor's Children realistically to have a big army and field him in Horus Heresy anytime soon. And he would probably just be sitting on the shelf looking good, but he'd be looking so good. I think it's a bit of a showstopper model to finish the show with, the most extravagant and vainglorious of Primarchs. Woof. And the paint job on it is incredible. It's not always the case with Forge World models, but woof. So that's the Nova Open Reveals. I think it's a really strong set of stuff. I don't know what's happening with Kill Team. Obviously, we're still not hearing anything about Middle Earth. But aside from that, pretty much everything is getting stuff there. Blood Bowl's got a proper whole team. Warcry's got the new set, new season of Underworlds, big box for Heresy, big release of Space Marines. I guess AOS has got the least, but we're in that kind of winding down before the next edition next year time for AOS, and they've just had the Six of Sigmar big box go on pre-order, which I haven't ordered. I've got to say that I'm most impressed with the Fulgrim, but I don't know if I'm going to get it. Definitely will be getting the Marine Command Squad, Heroes of the Chapter, whatever it's called, and probably some more of the Marine stuff because I'm into Marines. Not like I haven't got enough to paint. I've got loads to paint, but you can never have too many minis. I think that Trogoth guy is really cool. I think it's generally cool stuff. I'm not sure where the release schedule stands now. They seem to be saying that the Marines will be along very soon in the next few weeks. With the Legiones Imperialis, or Legions Imperialis, whichever one it's called, being delayed, things are coming forward. Are we going to see Old World sooner? You don't know how big the delay will be. Old World could be coming sooner. What else is there? Is there anything unexpected we're going to get for this winter? A new Warhammer Quest or... But there's a lot of exciting stuff, I think. Would love to hear more about Middle Earth. I would love to hear what you think about it all, what you're excited about. You just like Yawn, more Marines. I need to knuckle down and get my army going for Throne of Skulls Middle Earth event in the end of November. I've, of course, decided to do a basically new army of stuff I don't have painted, which is idiotic. But there we go. I've got a lot of Marines to paint. I've got a lot of Orcs to paint. I've got a lot of everything to paint. Let me know what you're working on. And thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. It's good to be back doing videos and stuff. And be back in my office with my paints and my models and stuff. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.